Okay, so I won't be getting a Yu-Gi-Oh reaction out this week because I had a very complicated first half of the week, and since the episode ended in a cliffhanger anyways, I'm probably just better off doing both episodes as one thing anyways. But today, fortunately, something really cool happened. We got our second Pokemon Sun and Moon trailer, and here's the funny thing. I actually remember it was announced a week or two ago that we would be getting Pokemon Sun and Moon news early in June. I totally forgot this thing was happening. But I am glad it came, and I thought this was a great trailer and a great sort of look into where things are going. Why? Because it didn't drop anything earth-shattering. We didn't learn anything that we didn't already suspect. And again, things like the names of the legendaries we found out through trademarks, the region being a series of islands, Kukui being the main professor. All these things I think we kind of saw coming, but the thing is, getting that confirmation and getting it seen with our own eyes is so gratifying and so fun to watch. And let's talk about the things we learned in this trailer. I'll get to the most interesting thing I find last. So we'll start off with the first thing. The region being islands, I think, is a genius idea. Great, brilliant, amazing. When I heard the Hawaiian theme, I'm like, we gotta have islands for the region. There's no way you can do Hawaii as one region, especially because all 6 other generations, don't get me wrong, I love all 6 regions. They all have their own interesting, unique things, but it's kind of nice to get a change. Islands are different. It makes the gameplay different. It makes me wonder, will surf be a big thing? Will you do a lot of boat travel? All of that, I think, sounds really cool and really neat, and the islands look unique. I like how each one kind of has its own feel to it, and I imagine we'll probably have like 2 gyms per island or something like that, and it allows for a lot more Pokemon, because that first look at the Alola region, that island is too small to have anything on it. But with the 4 islands, it gives you some interesting ideas for the regions, all of that. I think that is great. Professor Kukui being the main professor, there's already a lot of people joking how it's following the realm of Sycamore as a young, handsome professor guy. Who's the dude who hands you the Pokemon we saw in the first trailer? I don't know, maybe there are 2 professors, but I like Kukui, I like the design, I love the Hawaiian look, I love we see some variety in the Pokemon world. Again, everyone up until this point has looked very similar. This really feels like its own unique place in the Pokemon world, and I really love seeing that. I love getting more peeks at this region. I find this new girl character who's showing up to be an interesting little mystery, and they even say she's Kukui's mysterious assistant. Will she be plot relevant? Probably. Will she be sort of like Dawn and Diamond and Pearl? Will she have the Pokemon you don't choose? Maybe. All I know is it's interesting, and it's a great way to get us story speculating. We're not just gawking over the graphics or new Mega Evolutions or anything like that. We can start focusing on the story, get a little bit more of the mystery. Maybe we'll have a story that isn't cookie cutter generic this time. One thing I am disappointed is that we won't be able to name our rival. I actually really like that. I think it kind of makes the game feel a little bit more personal and brings that sort of extra edge to it. I don't like it when we don't get to name the rival. It just makes him more forgettable for some reason. But, alright, fine, whatever we would be. He looks fun, he looks interesting, and all that stuff. And finally, the only other thing for sure we know about this trailer, I know there's these theories that we might see Lugia and Ho-Oh somehow in this trailer, but I'm focusing on what we finally learn, and that is the revelation of the legendaries, Solgaleo and Lunala. Again, these names were actually found out through trademarks that got released on a Japanese public governed site or something. And yeah, they make sense. Solgaleo, Lunala, Sun Lion, Loon Bat thing, whatever. The big thing everyone's talking about, first up, the Lunala typing of Psychic Ghost. I really like. That's a neat type combination. I was actually thinking Psychic I saw coming. I was thinking Psychic Dark, but I think Psychic Ghost is a little bit more different because, again, Fire Legendary and Dark Legendary for Sun and Moon I thought was a little too obvious. Seeing it be different, seeing the attack, seeing the ability. Again, it's a fascinating looking Pokemon, and I love just sort of the design, how interesting it looks, how many mysteries there are to it. I think it's fascinating. And the big thing, the one that's got everyone crazy, Solgaleo is a Steel Psychic type. Now, I actually thought this thing was going to be Fire Fairy, and then when I saw Steel Psychic, I'm like, what? That makes no sense. What about the Sun is Steel? The Psychic thing I kind of get, because if you look at their faces, it almost looks like their faces are just kind of images they put up. That's kind of a neat idea for Psychic, and it's been a long time since Psychic, I think, has had any real focus as far as the legendaries go, so that's kind of a neat bring back. But the thing is, what about this thing reads fire? And then it hit me. No one ever said the legendaries, just because they represent the sun and the moon to the culture of these nations, that doesn't necessarily have to mean that's what they are. Pokemon types are based off of the Pokemon's attributes or their abilities or just what they are. If it's some sort of weird metal armored lion, that could be really cool. And I was thinking to myself, what if the bodies of these Pokemon we see are not their actual bodies? What if it's a form they've taken here on Earth to better function in our world? What if maybe Solgaleo is some sort of like weird sun spirit thing and it made a metal body for itself? Think about it. You need fire and need heat to forge metal. Maybe it made a metal suit of armor. Lunala's a ghost. It already doesn't have much of a physical form. That's my little theory. I don't have anything to back it up. I'm not going to be like some PokeTubers where I'm just going to like do 8 videos on one theory. That's my 2 cents. Maybe it's right, maybe it isn't, and I'll let you all figure that from there. What did you think about this trail? What was your favorite part of the Sun and Moon Trail, and would you like to see more Pokemon content out of this channel? I would love to know all that below, and as always, click to like and click to subscribe, because maybe next time we'll see what that little dog thing is.